Greetings, this is the Evening Run. A pleasure always. Your host, Danoby2.
Right, I mean, that can kind of still count as an evening run. So it's what, 4:30? 4:30 Pacific. West Coast time. And, oh, hold on. You guys are probably wondering what's wrong with the audio. Sorry. Scrambling here. Hope everybody's doing fine. Apologies. Can't talk without a microphone. That wouldn't be very nice. How is everybody today? Look at this. Folks all checking in from all parts of the world. I love it. I love it. Amba Sin checking in from South Africa. Wow. I'm honored. I'm honored that you're going to hang out with me and spend some time. We're going to talk about InArt Superman. I've been doing a lot of research. I've been gathering ideas, research, comparison, and I absolutely do love to lurk in the shadows. I listen to you wonderful folks out there, and you kids as well too, sharing your enthusiasm, your excitement, and your love for Superman. Still haven't figured out if it's Superman, Henry Cavill's Superman, or another pre-order announcement from InArt. We'll get to that, right? We'll discuss. We'll spend some time. I know it's a busy day. It's the middle of the week, and well, almost middle of the week, and we're gonna discuss. We're gonna discuss a lot of ideas here. Checking in from uncarded reviews. You're out of you're out of control. I am curious to know where you're actually streaming from, though. I know last time you checked in, you said North Korea. I have no idea. Mike, saludos. Hello. This is your boss calling a quick stand-up meeting at the end of the workday. I'm definitely worried. I'm off. My days off are in the middle of the week. They bounce between Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. So before the fall season starts for my job, I'm currently on Wednesday and Thursday off. So work can be a little bit hectic right now, but when it comes to events like this, announcements, surprises, I feel I need to do my due diligence and help you wonderful folks out there make an educated decision purchase, right? When you're purchasing an expensive figure, you want to make sure that you've explored all opportunities, or maybe the excitement was so high that you kind of blew your load within, say, 24 hours, and with the constant barrage of YouTube influencers out there making sure that you use their code to save, it can be somewhat overwhelming. Because I feel it. I 100%. I feel the pain, especially after the announcement and the official pre-order goes up for InArt Superman. We're talking about InArt Superman. This is going to be a little one-on-one. I'm going to share my personal thoughts. No one else is going to join this stream. It's just what I've gathered. And if you've been following me and you've followed my teachings, you did not do an impulse pre-order. At least wait a couple days, right? Get past the honeymoon and see if it's something that can fit within, say, your algorithm, right? Collector's Entity, sup fellas, from Naples, Florida. What's going on? 8 o'clock out there. Asphyx checking in from Arizona. Got a lot of wonderful folks checking in here. Check it out. Cobra's Collection checking in. Neighbor, there you go. Hello, everybody. Who else? What up from the good old middle of nowhere? Well, no, that's if that was your impression. No, I'm gonna do my best, and I'm gonna do my best as devil's advocate. We're gonna look at the pros and we're gonna look at the cons of the InArt Superman. The stream may turn negative. I hope it doesn't. That was never my intention. But if I raise concerns, I can see some folks in the community probably seeing Danoby2 as being another Debbie Downer. So that's understandable. Streaming now. Talk Hot Toys and see Danoby at the same time. Is there any rate of fun collecting? Please use my code. Oh yeah, my God, I don't have enough fingers to count the amount of code barrage when it comes. I mean, you have to wonder what type of deal 1/6 kit has mustered up to really rally such a large aggressive support for InArt Superman, considering now that Toys Wonderland is somewhat defunct. They don't even have the pre-order, and they're not currently the Vogue place to go to place an InArt pre-order. Thoughts and prayers to them. But out of the ashes, a new retail contender has risen up, and they're going to make sure that they fill in the void left by Toys Wonderland. Boba Fett, what up, Jenny? What up in the chat? All right. Here we go. Good old InArt. Good old InArt. We're talking about, on this episode, we're going to be talking about InArt, parent company Queen Studios. Let's make this clear, right? There's Queen Studios, and then there's InArt, separate division. I'm assuming, based on the information that they share and what gets barked at us, it's a separate entity, right? And they're closed. It's hard for me to keep track because depending on how you count how many pre-orders that they're actually sitting on, it's anywhere between 13 to 16 if you count the duplicates. Meaning, do you want rooted hair? Do you want regular hair? It's quite a bit. And based on my experience and what I gathered that's available on the internet, they just recently completed their most successful release, which is the InArt Joker. Cool. They had a few road bumps, right, along the path, but for that most part, I would probably say they've successfully released InArt Joker. So good for them. That doesn't still raise the concerns that I have as far as distribution and the amount of money that they've been gathering, say through pre-orders, right? It's a big concern. This is an aggressive market right now, an aggressive 1/6 scale market we're kind of going through right now, and they're asking us to pony up $400 for a BVS Henry Cavill Superman. And they even provided some updates. They even provided specs as to what's going to be included with this purchase. So looking at the head sculpt, it's pretty damn good. Right? I am a Henry Cavill supporter, lover. To me, the definitive version of Superman in this current generation is generally being portrayed very well by Henry Cavill. He's doing a fantastic bang up job. Even though I grew up with Christopher Reeve, right? And I respect him, and I love those movies, and I love the Richard Donner film and all that good stuff. But as the decades roll on, you need someone else to take the mantles, just like Batman, right? A different actor. So with their continued licensed support with Warner Brothers, they decided to tackle BVS Superman, not Man of Steel Superman, not Justice League Superman. And that's important because in the multiple films that Henry Cavill portrayed Superman, the suit radically changed. It went through different versions of how it was portrayed very cinematically. So what InArt has done here, as far as this head sculpt, it's quite impressive. It really is, compared to the years that I've been collecting Hot Toys, and then the collection I have of the Hot Toys Henry Cavill Superman, or Superman, because I have them all. I have all of the Henry Cavill Supermans. I've always stuck with the ship. I've never cannibalized my DC collection when things got dark at the very end for DC. If anything, I saw the value in holding on to the DC collection when things were at its darkest with the whole Josh Whedon situation. To me, I saw vision, I saw scope. I'm like, oh, I better get in on this, because this whole DCEU experience, it's gonna be pruned out, it's gonna be phased out. So I always kind of stuck around. I don't I have all of the Justice League, and for the most part, I at least I think I have a decent DC collection. Say that. So, and Superman here, Henry Cavill, is one of my favorite actors and characters from the DCEU. So when InArt announced this version, or this version here, it raised my curiosity. Well, okay, it's interesting, right? Because they've released a lot of other characters, but I've never had much interest, right? Well, yeah, to me, I just saw the company InArt being painted into a corner with the Warner Brothers license, right? There's only so much that can be done with the Warner Brothers license that hasn't already been done by Hot Toys, right? That's always been one of my concerns, is that they're going back and kind of revisiting a lot of the characters that I believe at the time were done very effectively by Hot Toys. So if they're coming in back into the market, if they're going back in here, we're assuming they're bringing something brand new to the table. What are they bringing brand new to the table, and why? What deserves the sticker price of $400? So let me jump into the comments here, because I'm sure you. What's going on? Oh, local. Here you go, Local Lou. What's up, dude? What's going on? There you go. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Everybody joining in. What is going on? Lord of the Rings. No, I have no interest for Lord of the Rings. I don't. Oh, here we go. Someone new. Oh, there you go. You treat me like a piece of toast here, throwing in the butter. I'm a sucker for that. I love Danoby2, best channel in the biz. Greetings as well from South Africa. Thank you, good sir. Thank you, sir. What is going on? Hello, Mr. Mom. Hello. What's going on? Making the formula. Not sure he's referring to. Mafia checking in from Arizona. Benjamin, good. All is well. So, yeah, I really do think. And then the fact that they're giving you 2 head sculpts, right? It's, again, they've piqued my curiosity here. All right, 2 head sculpts. Has Hot Toys ever done 2 head sculpts for Superman? They have. They've done it. They've done 2 head sculpts. So what? Because this is something that I really kind of just, okay, so maybe it's because it looks like Henry Cavill, and by all means, InArt deserves the credit. This really does look like Henry Cavill. It really does, right? But in an aggressive market right now, you have to really itemize everything, kind of like your taxes. You really want to nitpick, because it's not just InArt out there that's trolling for your money, right? It's Hot Toys. It's Blitzway. It's Exo 6, if they're even make it to the end of the year. I'm assuming they will. They keep pumping out stinkers, but this is not discussion about Exo 6. This is discussion about InArt. We're going to talk about InArt. We're going to look at everything. We're going to look at everything through a fine toothpick and comb here. So 2 head sculpts, right? All right, $400. They're adding the movable eyes. Okay. Hot Toys has never done that. Hot Toys has never done an Henry Cavill. In fact, if anything, they kind of took a lazy shortcut with the dark suit, the Zack Snyder Justice League suit. They just kind of reused the head sculpt from the previous incarnation from the Justice League Superman. And they gave him a dark suit. And, for most collectors like me, we were I was fine with it. I was just happy to get a dark suit Superman because I knew at the time there were, or there still is, third-party manufacturers out there that are still trying to capitalize, that were capitalizing in on that. Like, look, you can buy a third-party, from Poo Poo Toys or Farce Toys, we get a black suit of Superman. I prefer, right? I haven't had very much success with third-party companies. Their quality is just trash. It just is, right? They show you a beautiful spec'd up prototype, and then you get something else, right? The box arrived, and you're like, Brad Pitt, what's in the box, right? What's in the box? So, all right. 2 head sculpts. All right, that's been done by Hot Toys. They're adding the eyes. All right. That's very cool. And the portrayal of Henry Cavill is pretty spot on. Now, something that I don't know if it's the word concerning, but I do love listening to other YouTubers out there. And I couldn't for the life of me understand why YouTube influencers out there, they were assuming that the suit that InArt is going to provide is better than Hot Toys. Because I honestly feel Hot Toys did a phenomenal job, A+ on the Lycra spandex suit. So I can just hear the bells through the air. I'm just like, oh, the suit's improved. I'm like, why would the suit be improved? It's like a neoprene Lycra thin suit with plastic embossed symbol. I didn't understand that. Maybe it's because of the cape. All right. Sure, it is a wire cape. That is absolutely. And that's good to have wires in a cape. They did finally include the wires in a Superman figure through Hot Toys. I think it was a dark suit. The dark suit does have it. But again, it's the best way to really put this is that you really need to compare it to what Hot Toys did, right? Batman v Superman was released, was it 2015, 2016, right? It's been a while. It's been about 8 years or 7 years, right? Give or take. So when you're looking at something like this, and I don't know if most of the collectors that are pre-ordering this were even around when the original one was available through Sideshow, right? The original BVS Superman, it went into pre-order. I'm looking at the notes here, late 2015, and then it was released around late 2016. So this is the price, 2016, right? And you're looking at the sticker price of $210. And mind you, though, at this point in time in history, there's no sales tax being collected. In fact, shipping at this time was under $15 from Sideshow. I remember. Yeah, I was there. Gandalf, 3,000 years ago. So this is what, and I should probably disclose too that I'm doing my comparison through a long-term veteran collector, because I 100% sympathize as a collector that just started coming into DC, say, during the pandemic, right, 2020, and you don't have a Superman in your collection, and this is probably a good alternative. even though you can buy Superman right now on Sideshow, but it is the black suited version and it is a 2-pack. And from my impression is most of the collectors in the community didn't even get the 2-pack. In fact, it's still as a daily deal on OK. It shows up as a daily deal. So I look at that. I'm like, okay, well, is it fake cries of joy? Is the community generally going to support an InArt figure? I don't know. I'm just looking at the analytics that are available to me. And I know that there's a Superman that's available on Sideshow, a 2-pack that's been exposed up to 20% off. Yeah, it does come with a Nightmare Batman, and it does, and it's the dark suit. But nonetheless, it is a representation of Henry Cavill portrayed in a black suited suit. So not 100% effective as a fair comparison, but it just tells me how much love there is for Henry Cavill Superman. So I don't know if I would use the word fake collector for this scenario. I just don't know if it's fake enthusiasm. Let's put it that way. I'm not sure if we're there yet for that. I'm not sure. But veteran collector here, I'm going to compare what a BVS suited Superman to what it is now, 7 years. And even if you adjust it for inflation, that's 100% markup inflated price. That's astronomically ludicrous. Even if inflation, no. And inflation would not be fair here, because if it was inflation, it probably would be what a going Superman would be going for right now. But then you would then counter with me, right? And you would say, well, we're getting a new head sculpt with movable eyes. Danoby, because I'm not buying the fact that the suit has been improved. I'm going to have to unfortunately rule that out. I just don't see some of the comments that were said about, well, the suit's going to be improved. No, in fact, if anything, what I would probably suspect is that they're probably going to may even use the manufacturer that manufactured the original Hot Toys clothing for. I wouldn't be surprised. In fact, I've been looking at these photos, and that suit, it almost looks like a mirrored version of the Justice League Hot Toys Henry Cavill Superman. They may have. I can't prove that. But if I was scrambling to say put out a pre-order of Superman, and we've spent a lot of R&D on a head sculpt that is by far A+. It has me talking about it. We may not have enough money for other aspects of the figure. I can't prove this, but the last couple days, I've been really finagling with my Henry Cavill Superman. I think they're using a Hot Toys body. But again, it is a prototype, and things are going to change. I even suspect that that's even the suit from a Hot Toys. I can't prove it. It'll be debatable, right? We'll get one of the InArt influencers, right, to counter on me on that. It'll probably be Big Bretta, right? Big Bretta will probably, argue that. But you have to wonder. Okay, I'm not out yet. It's still not a red fire. It's still not. Could that suit be a Hot Toys body? It's hard to. Just a theory. Just a hunch. Just a hunch. Collecting 1/6 scale figures for a little over a decade. Just a hunch, right? But I haven't lost interest though, because my God, that head sculpt. Who out there wants to marry that head sculpt? That head sculpt's like, oh my God, it's a definitive version. Could they pull off a Christmas miracle like that? Could they do it? Something that Hot Toys has struggled for so many years to capture the likeness of Henry Cavill. Could InArt do it? Could they have cracked the algorithm, the code to solve the mystery of how to capture the likeness, right? I don't know. It's a good question, isn't it? Huh? So, of course, then I go down the rabbit hole, the rabbit hole, right? Now, I adjusted the photos to get the right proportion so I can just look at it. That's why one photo looks bigger than the other, right? I kind of made it transparent so I can line it up. That's why if you're wondering, well, Danoby, photo. So again, this is just me looking at all different aspects because they're somewhat close, right? And then you're gonna then ask yourself by the time this stream is over, the big question is, Danoby, did you pre-order the InArt Superman? And I'll answer that at the end of the live stream. So I'm looking at this, and this is one of the things that I wish that other YouTubers out there would have done. Because it just feels lazy that they didn't do a side-by-side photo comparison. This is like basic 101, where where a new manufacturer is wooing you to grab your dollars. And this is something that I felt was very lazy by multiple streamers out there. Why wouldn't you just do a side-by-side comparison? InArt is promoting, they're advertising, hey, we're going to make a BVS Superman. All right, cool. Let's compare it to BVS Superman, the actual Hot Toys one. And again, InArt is still taking the awards for this. Well, it's still pretty good. And this is, I think, the shot here that I used at the time. I think this was before their updates. So, but nonetheless, though, it's very, very similar. I mean, they can clearly do a suit. It's probably just a CAD file through Warner Brothers that they sent out to toy manufacturers. And as far as like the cape, they use the fabric cloth soft goods cape, as is Hot Toys. I can't imagine, unless it's made out of like Indian silk, I can't imagine that still justifying the price of $400. Have I lost you yet on Carter Reviews yet? Right? Have I lost you that? No, I'm not going to put on a tinfoil. I'm not. But it's just, this is how my mind works, right? Iron King, that's not a Hot Toys body suit. How do you know? Did InArt tell you that personally? Are you on the assembly line? How do you know that? Right? How do you know that? I don't. It's just a hunch. It's just a hunch. Nick's Collectibles. So you're suspicious about this Superman because he's $400, but you didn't question the black suit. Toby, that's going to be over $400, and that is pretty inaccurate to the film. No, I'm not sure what you're referring to, because I actually think Tobey Maguire, the black suited version, they captured a likeness of him directly from Spider-Man 3. So I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to, or if you're implying that the head sculpt of Tobey Maguire was not done near perfection by Hot Toys. Nick, you may be lost. Again, side-by-side comparisons, and when they updated the photos, the suit color tones that are being used, they tend to change. It's one of those situations where, all right, we need more data. We gotta, what's going on here, right? What are they able to, because the thing is too with the BVS Superman is that it was a darker suit. It just is. It just is. And when you have, if you have the Superman, the BVS Superman from Hot Toys, then you have the Justice League Superman. You can really see the color differences. You absolutely can. You can definitely see, and it looks like the updated photos, they actually corrected that, because that was something that because I was just been busy. It's just been a busy week. I was actually going to bring up, but they actually corrected the color variance. The suit should be darker. The prototype photos that were originally released, it did portray a lighter representation of the suit, and that was wrong. And even when those photos came out, it was something that I did not hear within the community. I'm like, it's just in my head, I'm thinking, is anybody else not catching this? It's a different colored suit in the prototypes. And if it was, it's just something that it wasn't observed by, say, most individuals in the panel. I did. I was just busy. I work on the weekends. I can talk about it during the weekends. I was working. But I did notice it, and they did correct it. So they clearly were aware of the whole color situation. So what are we getting for $400? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what we're getting. All right. We're getting a 1/6 scale figure, base and stand. For the record, the stand is fine. I can care less about the stand. If anything, it's on my chart between 1 and 100. The stand probably accounts to likability for me, maybe 10 or 20%. I don't lose sleep over a stand. I know there's collectors out there that feel the world will end if it's not the proper base. I can care less. I honestly do. But that being said, though, I do enjoy the bases more when they're themed. A perfect example of this was the Justice League, the original wave, where the bases were a raised platform and they were really themed to the movie. That I loved, which I even loved even more when I got Cyborg from the Justice League, and he came with that original base, because that's, to me, that's awesome. It's almost like you're collecting this large Pokemon set of Justice League figures. Just like it's uniform and it looks just awesome. But if it came even with, let's say, a regular base, I wouldn't, I wouldn't run out and write about it, right? So this base is fine. I even like I'm assuming that's Kryptonian insignia on that. Okay. Mind you, though, I still having trouble seeing the $400 price point. Movable articulated body, head sculpt with calm expression, sculpted hair, and movable eyes. Head sculpt with an angry expression and sculpted hair, which I'm assuming it's the curl. It's what's going to be the actual the hair, the rooted bangs, and the movable eyes for the second head. So both heads are really, they're presenting the value of a look. We're going to give you really two unique heads, and the eyes do move, and one of them is going to have like a rooted bang on it. That's cool. All right. Battle suit, I'm assuming they're referring to the super suit. The boots, the stylized cape, draped cape, hands with natural gesture. So this is something that I have noticed with them, is that they do give you sculpted hands. Very unique. It's not so much copy and paste, say with Hot Toys, where Hot Toys just they produce so many damn figures that a lot of the times they do recycle the hands from existing figures. Only if the said figure has the hands that are, say, like in a suit, sort of like kind of like Batman. If it's a specially themed Batman, Arkham, something, eco suit or whatever, then those hands have to be tailor made for that. But otherwise, if it's Humanistic hands, they're usually just typically recycled, but InArts is making a little bit of effort here. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I find that interesting. Then you get the Kryptonite. Then you get the Kryptonite grenade, Kryptonite sphere. You get the Polaroid photos, all 5 of his mom being tortured, acrylic stand, floor slab replacement, and then a magnetic base. Apart from the body, because to me, I don't see anything unique about the body. I've shared you my conspiracy theory with the body. That's going to be debated. But besides the heads, that really caught my interest was the accessories that are being included with this. It's like, oh, cool. I love collecting Kryptonite. And you get a Kryptonite sphere. That's pretty badass. Then you get a Kryptonite grenade. Believe it or not, even the Polaroid photos. I love Polaroid. I still take Polaroid photos. I do. In fact, I might even have some here somewhere. I have them somewhere around here. I always have a Polaroid somewhere around here. Go figure. I cleaned my desk and I don't have a Polaroid. But I found that really unique. But it was really the Kryptonite, Kryptonite sphere, and a few of the accessories. I'm like, all right. The Kryptonite sphere that was included with the battle damaged armored Batman, that particular sphere was just known to be very weak and flimsy, right? But the reason why that Kryptonian sphere that was included with the armored Batman is because it was electronic. The tip of that Kryptonian sphere did light up. So as a collector, whether or not that's important to you, it's really up to you. For me, that's a missed opportunity. I'm like, oh, to me, that's part of the illusion. That's part of the magic. And maybe they'll change it. I don't know. But it's a missed opportunity that the Kryptonian sphere does not light up. I didn't see anything that takes power or so forth. In fact, my Kryptonian sphere was USB modded, and it glows, epic. The piece of Kryptonite that was found in the Pacific Ocean doesn't light up either. Another missed opportunity, because the only way you could have gotten that piece of Kryptonite was through the special edition Superman BVS that was sold through Sideshow. That piece of Kryptonite, that Hot Toys Kryptonite, I'm not kidding. I've seen it go on eBay anywhere between $100 and $150 just for that little piece of Kryptonite. And what makes that piece of Kryptonite so unique is that it glows and it brights. In fact, when I USB modded my piece of Kryptonite, I stepped it down so that it wouldn't shine so bright. It just glowed. So maybe they'll change it down the road. I just feel like it's a missed opportunity. And again, these were accessories that were available at the time for a different price point. And there's only so much of inflation excuse could be used, so to say. Danoby's definitely knows how to rile up a crowd. That was not my intention, Big Man. I try. What do we have here? If you were to buy an aftermarket wired cape and add it to the Hot Toys version, plus an extra head sculpt. I don't know why you would need an extra head sculpt to justify your reasoning here. You are already spending more than $400. Where are you buying these aftermarket parts? On U.S. soil? No. Tim, good sir, there's a few holes in your reasoning here. What is this? That guy, one day, nobody's going to say this is coming home to an InArt figure. uh, but Danoby, are you going to buy it? Will this be your first InArt figure? Well, that gets answered at the end of the stream, like I mentioned. We're going to go through it all. We're going to go through the story here. I already have a glowing Kryptonite sphere. This InArt Superman is perfect. Okay. Just a statement here? Not sure. Or just an opinion here. Okay. The InArt Superman it's captivating. It really is. It's a very captivating figure. What is this talk like supervillain? And I love it. I am exploring all aspects of this. I'm trying to understand the logic, the reasoning why so many especially when the pre-orders opened up and you couldn't go anywhere on social media without having a code, like, oh, you got to buy it now. Don't even think about it. Just just pre-order it now, right? Hey, there's nothing wrong with self-promoting with affiliations. There really isn't, because I'm only affiliated with one right now, and that is Spec Fiction, right? Coupon code for $10 for Spec Fiction, which, mind you, they do have this on pre-order, which is probably going to be I would recommend the safest bet to pre-order. Spec Fiction tends to run late, but you may need that extra time just in case when those early reviews come out, right? Regular Joe Schmoes, not the not the influencers, right? Not like the ones that get the figure through the backdoor alley early on, and then the rest of the world gets theirs 3 to 4 months later, right? So you may need that extra time to let the reviewers and the regular Joe Schmo reviewers come out, and that way you can then decide whether or not it's worth keeping in pre-order. It's one of the beauties, and it's probably the only respectable retailer here in the U.S. that most likely won't get up and disappear like Toys Wonderland and any others out there, the other side of the world. But anyway, shameless plug. We're playing devil's advocate here. We're talking about, let's get back to the photos here. This shot right here is pretty damn cool. Again, these photos, they have my attention. I'm like, oh my God, what's InArt up to here? What are they doing? Are they working their charm on me? Oh, got to raise shields. Got to go to yellow alert on this. Boy, they are they're working me. Indeed, they are. I think now is a good time. Actually, hold that thought. We're going to discuss something very innovative. I'm giving some props here. It's very unlike me. This right here, this shot of Soup's butt, this little maneuver here. Oh, I found this very captivating. I was actually very impressed by this whole setup here. You see, I've spent the last couple of years trying to crack the formula on how to get my boy Superman to properly fly inside a module case. I've experimented, I've welded, I've glued, I've created Frankenstein contraptions because I wanted to figure out how to get my boy Henry Cavill to kind of float, hover, fly inside a module case. And it never dawned on me to kind of solve the formula is to get near his ass. I thought that was brilliant. It's like, wow, fascinating. That's a clever design. Oh, it never dawned on me to get him to fly would be that. I thought that was unique. In fact, it was so inspirational that day when that photo was shown to me, it did inspire me. I was like, okay, they inspired me. That's odd. I go, that's interesting. I shit you not, I've been trying to figure out how to get my boy Superman how to fly. And it never dawned on me that instead of, because anybody that owns a Hot Toys Superman or Cavill, the crotch clipper, it destroys. It wreaks havoc on this material. It just does. Throughout the years, it just does. And out of everything that I've seen, this is probably the most innovative aspect that I've seen them pull out. Because head sculpts can be they can always be improved, right? In fact, if anything, this type of challenge is most likely gonna welcome retaliation. That's what happens, right? We're in the middle of a kind of like a little cold war between Hot Toys and InArts. Every time InArts thinks that they have a gem, Hot Toys says, "Hold my beer." We'll generate our artisan collection, and we'll make the collectors bend the knee, and that's exactly what Hot Toys has done, right? You wanted competition, folks. Oh shit, you have it. You have it. You have to be careful what you wish for, because the possibility of a reissue for, let's say, an artisan Superman from Hot Toys is very potentially real, right? You can speculate yes or no, but it's there. It could absolutely happen. Absolutely. All they have to do is reuse the same bodies, same fact. They probably have a surplus of the suits or whatever and the bodies. And the only R&D that Hot Toys would probably have to do is gather up a few of the kids that they employ, little 12, 13-year-old kids that they employ in their factories, and whip up an artisan edition. And poof, like that, they have us bending the knee, right? Creating a supply and demand, which works. It absolutely works. And then forces us collectors then to resort to purchasing pre-orders through third-party representatives across the sea, across the other side of the world. So it kind of sucks, right? Kind of sucks that is a potential possibility. But anyway, this technology here, this is pretty spot on. I go, this is pretty goddamn cool. It's like, oh man, what are they doing? Man, they're like they're working it, aren't they, huh? They are working it. Indeed they are. Indeed they are. So I love being inspired. In fact, that's one of the things I 100% enjoy, is being inspired. It's a clever design. I mean, it really, really is. It's a clever design. A+. Wow. I'm assuming Hot Toys is going to rip off this design, because this is top notch. The secret to making Henry Cavill fly is getting near his butt cheeks. Go figure. So inspiration leads to creativity, but there's a problem though, right? Problem is that the zipper directions, they go different. InArt's zipper goes down, and when I went and I got my Henry Cavill figure, zipper actually goes up. I was like, oh shit. That kind of sucks. Because that's the whole idea, keeping the top portion of his upper back zipped up. You just need a little tiny opening, right, to slip in the acrylic peg. Oh, that acrylic peg is trash. So I'm giving praise on the secret opening near his ass. But I do have to disclose the acrylic base is trash. That's going to fall apart. It's garbage. 100% garbage. It's that. I'm hoping it gets improved, but that type of acrylic, it gets weak with time when it's exposed to the elements. It'll crack. I'm hoping that gets improved. Now, because there isn't anything fragile on this guy, what, head sculpt and a cape and suit, that if the acrylic rod that goes in his lower back does break, the figure most likely isn't going to suffer much damage. But having something like that, say on a die-cast Iron Man, spells doom for that die-cast figure. But this is Henry Cavill's Superman, so if that, it is a cheap acrylic stand. It really is, right? That thing is going to fall apart. It just is. It's trash. So it's going to need like a steel rod or something a little bit more dependable. But anyway, I got to my super guys, right? And I wanted to see if I can figure out, because I've been having trouble. I'm like, how do I have a module case, goddammit. Anything that my imagination whips up, right? I should be able to do if I want to get figures to fly or whatever, I should be able to do that. But what I was able to discover, though, is that once I got to his lower back near his ass, I figured that I realized that, oh, I only need just a plastic hook. And you know what? I'll show it to you. Now, this right here is the Justice League Superman right there. Actually, did I go too far? Hold on here. All right, so this is my DC collection. This is just a little 5-minute clip of my DC collection that I whipped up today just for a visual representation. That's what the whole purpose is. Let me see if I can, so I'm not in the way. All right, so, oh, by the way, this video will be available on my YouTube channel with some dialogue added on. So it's just a 5-minute clip. So that is the Man of Steel there, and that is the Justice League Superman there. And this is something that I've just been struggling. I want him just laying on his chest, just being able to fly. And that Man of Steel right there, that's the original one. It's actually being supported by the BVS display base. And it's because I figured out that once I lowered the zipper, that's the Prime 1 Justice League, Zack Snyder's statue. But anyway, this is what we're going to focus on right here, and I'll pause it, is that once I was able to get to his lower back, there's actually plastic openings. There's plastic openings on his lower back that enable me to just slip in a plastic hook, very safe. It's not going to damage anything. And then the fishing line that I'm using there, it's a 50-pound fishing line, which I just screwed to the sealant of the module case. And lo and behold, that's a horrible screw. I got to fix it. But it solved something that I've just been struggling with, and it's just how to get this guy to fucking fly. By fishing a line that doesn't damage the costume at all, doesn't damage his lower buttocks or anything like that, I'm able to create the wired work effect of Henry Cavill as he was portrayed when he was filming the sequences on set, and where his legs are kind of like curled in like that. And I just thought that was fantastic. And he does dangle kind of like a Christmas ornament. I just found it really fascinating. And it was my original intention was to actually drill right above his lower back, and I would create my own peg. I go, I can do this. I'm not like other collectors. If it means drilling into a body to get the perfect look, I'll do it. But I didn't have to. My original designs to getting figures to fly inside the module case was just welding or screwing the crotch thing to the ceiling. That's how I've been just doing it. If I want a figure to float or fly, I just reverse it. I just take the actual flight stand and screw it up. Justice League Superman here, the only look that I like is that he's laying on there. Yeah, and if you're probably wondering, yeah, his crotch bulge and there's enough tension there that keeps him from sliding off. So, look, you do with what you have that's available, right? You make it work. So, and then just a quick tour of just some of the existing DC figures I have in my collection. It's just one module case section, which I need to figure out and expand. Back there is my modded dark suit Superman. And I love this guy. I love that I was able to he's been hacked for months now, and the Kryptonian slab for months. And it's when the lights are turned off in the room, it looks fantastic. Hence why I was saying earlier with InArt, it's such a missed opportunity not to get the little Kryptonite to glow. Armored Batman, battle damaged armored Batman, like, comes with the Kryptonian sphere that I took upon liberty to USB hack. You can see the power cord trailing to the very tip. And this thing needs to glow. To be menacing, to sell the illusion, to sell the fantasy, Kryptonite needs to glow. His helmet is also USB hacked as well. So that right there, it's part of the experience. One of the things I love about collecting hot toys is that the toys inspire me. If they bring that youth back into me and inspire me to, play with this stuff, right? That's what I'm looking for. I'm tired of just trying to fill the shelf. I want stuff that inspires me joy, right? My two most anticipated figures this year are C-3PO, Attack of the Clones, and Doc Ock. And Doc Ock, I'm going to work on him. That is the Batman exosuit, which I added some USB lights to it just to give it that extra flair. Just a little bit of light. I felt semi-dull figure, and by making like those ice crystals glow and the platform underneath them glow, it just looks very cinematically, very epic, right? It's taking it to that next level. Cyborg, USB hacked. He has to be powered on. Same. It's one of the reasons I also did it for Ultron as well too. Ultron is alive. He needs to pop. He needs to glow. These characters need to glow to help sell the illusion, to help sell the fantasy. Remove that video there. So that was just my little short DC. Is that an InArt cyborg? Oh, don't give them any ideas. No, don't do that. Can't wait to see when you replace your DC shelf with InArt figures. I don't think they'll be around long enough for that to happen. Thank you, good sir. Thank you. So, stupid. What the heck? Oh, you threw me off my train of thought. You did it. All right, 10 points. Don't get carried away. That's good. I was monologuing and that joke threw me off. It is. Kirk, InArt using a Hot Toys body for the... No. Let's make it very clear. I am speculating that the prototype photos that are being used, they repurposed a Hot Toys body. Do I believe that the final product is recycled Hot Toys Superman? No. I just think the prototype. Excuse me. I just think because R&D is really expensive for a toy manufacturer, I think to help save some money, I think they just used a Hot Toys body, which I guess it's fine. But again, I have no proof. And I'm not implying that they're going to be recycling Hot Toy Superman bodies for their final products. I'm just saying it's easy to be it's easy to be deceived by prototype photos because most us collectors, every now and then we get the short end of the stick with Hot Toys. Even Hot Toys, not very often though, but even with Hot Toys, we do get the short end of the stick where we get a different body, right? Where you get a different figure that was not promised to us. So, again, for the prototype photos. I suspect that they're using it for the prototype. I'm not implying that it'll be their final run. That's definitely not what I'm definitely implying. No. That's not part of the super butt. And shame on you wonderful folks out there on Reddit Hot Toys that made a big stink. You guys know who you are out there on Reddit that made a big stink that Superman Buttgate. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it on Reddit. You guys felt that InArt missed the boat on his butt, implying that InArt can't even get the butt right and it's not bubbly enough and all that nuts. You folks know who you were on Reddit, and I give you thanks because I couldn't laugh hard enough. That was some funny shit on there. So you guys had me rolling. You guys had me rolling on Reddit. You guys were it was goodness. The problem with do most of you know Henry Cavill? Even though he went to the gym and he buffed up and he did all this stuff and exercise, he still wore a bodysuit. Certain things were improved within the suit. Yeah, it was, and he was even painted. You know how Hot Toys, if any of you are aware of, underneath the Hot Toys body, it's painted silver. Well, that's because the actual actor was. I don't know if any of you know that or not, but he was, and he had certain padding in certain aspects of his body to just make him look more buff, more beefier. Even his buttocks. I saw him doing the research. I saw this and I'm just like, it's the suit. So it's really not that hard to really kind of pad on, say within a 1/6 a figure. But it was. So if you're wondering why his chest is painted silver, saying Hot Toys, is because the original actor's chest was painted. So yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't. I don't. He's British, so I don't know. We get the short end of the stick 3 times at the Hot Toys Henry Cavill heads. Yes. I will definitely wag the finger at Hot Toys. They haven't been able to capture the likeness of the actor Henry Cavill, but they've also been dropping the ball too on other cinematic historical actors. Doc Brown, they can't solve Christopher Lloyd's lookness. Michael J. Fox, they keep stumbling every now and then. You think from certain angles. So there's quite a list, right? And then, but they're improving, right? I mean, they finally, in the last several years, they finally got the likeness of Robert Downey Jr. right. Finally, it was never like that in the 2014 and 2015. It was never like that. No. I'm having trouble, folks. I'm having trouble seeing the value here. $400. The math is not adding up. 2 head sculpts, purse, eyes, the accessories that are being included are unique and clever, but it feels very empty calorie. I'm referring to the Kryptonian spear, the chunk of Kryptonite, but it's kind of balances out because I like the Polaroid. The Kryptonian sphere. You know what would one up the Kryptonian sphere from the Hot Toys one? If you're not going to illuminate the sphere, make it die cast. That right there would be considered the one up. Because the original Kryptonian sphere that was included with Battle Damage Batman, it was just a plastic, very frail, but it did light up, right? So if you're gonna reintroduce a piece, so if you're gonna revisit a figure that's been already been done by an aggressive market leader, Hot Toys, right? You shouldn't just stop at the actual figure. Hey, they did the BVS Superman back in the day, but we're going to redo it and improve the head sculpt, right? And it should be the whole package, especially if you're asking the customers or the collectors out there to pony up $400 when the original one was only $210, $210 plus shipping. It's a big deal. This is the popping on here. Back in. So yeah, this is the original one. This is what the original one included. It didn't include a lot, but it was also priced very differently too. I did see a super chat. What do we have here? Danoby, are you getting Goblin? If so, would you make it fly like Soups? Is it possible? Man, God, Ash. That's what I'm talking about. Inspiration, creativity. Yes. If I can find a way that I can slip the plastic hook that's glued on to a fishing line, I absolutely, because the center of gravity, you would have to dangle him from the actual figure, and then I'm guessing the sled would be attached to his feet. So you wouldn't make Green Goblin fly by suspending the sled. No, if you wanted to make him properly fly, the sled would probably have to be secured on his feet. I would even probably use a little bit of a hot glue gun, because it's safe on the figures. And then with a hot air gun, it comes right off and it doesn't hurt the plastic, or it doesn't screw with the paint. So I would just dab a little bit of hot glue with the sled, weld it to his feet, and then suspend him the same way I did with Superman through the neck collar, assuming I can get to his suit, because the bodies, the way that they're articulated, it's just a tiny little thin plastic hook, and you don't even see it. But if I can do it, now that I learned from my experience, yeah, because I am building the Sinister Six, and my Green Goblin needs to fly. I would prefer to have him fly suspended from the ceiling versus on a display stand that's eating up real estate on the floor. So, yeah, up. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it.
Wow, thank you so much for the super chat. Danoby extends his gratitude for your support. Trust knowing your contribution helps. Bye-bye.
Yep. Going back in the chats here. You guys have a lot of thoughts on this. You guys think you have to understand, this is not an attack on safe figure. It's more questioning the dependability and the reliability and really the value. This figure's get it out of here on the screen. It's just, I have trouble seeing the value that they're asking for. I don't think it's there. I don't. But they are known for doing quick updates. I mean, they tend to they do quick maneuvers and scramble and so forth when the community has a hissy fit. Last I recall was with the whole Gandalf situation, right? Something I don't even follow. Was it the staff, this beard? He wasn't wearing underwear. Something was off with the figure, and they actually corrected it. So could there be updates on this? Because this is a long pre-order, isn't it? It's like a 30-day pre-order, right? They want to make sure that everybody is aware of the product, right? Oh, the comments here. You folks are Mitzelplick. Mixiaz Mitzelplick. InArt Soups is great. Given it's not rooted, this should have been 343, the most even with InArt's response to improve the figure. Is that again? It's just we are in the age of heavy saturation. It's very competitive, and the figure has wooed me, but I don't see the price. I'm having trouble. Polaroid, acrylic stand, magnetic base. It's a 30-day pre-order. They may be tempted to update it. They could. They could. They absolutely could. They can definitely improve it. Could they get the Kryptonite to glow? It'd be kind of nice. Glow Kryptonite sells the illusion. That's my dark suited Superman there with the glow in the dark Kryptonite. It's part of the experience. Oh, his eyes light up. That's a cool effect. The InArt's angry Superman head sculpt, his eyes don't light up, do they? You see how things start to, when you put things into perspective, because it is a beautiful, the InArt angry Superman head sculpt, it's fantastic, but it doesn't glow. But you're getting the rollable eyes, you're getting the movement eyes. That is part of the look, isn't it? The laser beam eyes. But you're not getting it through InArt. You have to stop, pause, and just kind of reevaluate the situation. It's a lot. It's a lot for certain things that are improved and certain things that are omitted, that are missing, that are part of the character's persona. But then yet one collector could then argue that, well, Danoby, I don't care if my Kryptonite glows. Or I don't care that his eyes glow. I just want mean angry. Well, what makes me a little bit different is that I like inspiration like this. This is this right here is part of the experience. It just is, right? It's kind of like, excuse me, it's kind of like building a fantastic Iron Man figure and the arc reactor doesn't light up. All right? It's kind of like that, at least for me. All right? And I understand that these are probably topics that are somewhat debatable. But again, the whole purpose of this was the value. You're asking a lot. You're asking $400. That's a lot compared to the existing Henry Cavill Supermans that you can buy now. Hopefully I would assume I haven't been pumping out negativity on this. If anything, the whole intention of this live stream was just looking at it from both sides of the fences. In fact, this is probably the nicest I've been to InArt. Because they have something finally of interest. So now I'm waiting for the question. Right? The question. Right? I think I'm ready. What is the question that you guys are all probably wondering, huh? I think I've covered enough. What do you think? What is the question? Whether or not I'm going to pre-order this. Oh, hold on. Let's take that out. Let's take it out. Look at this. This is incredible. Would I pre-order this? Well,
No, he will not be trained.
No.
No. No, I will not be pre-ordering this. I will absolutely sit in the shadows and watch its progress. No, it's just a few issues, right? But no, this does not warrant me from pre-ordering. Same thing like the InArt Joker. No, good things come to those. I mean, I waited. I even said during the 3 Grail challenge with the InArt Joker, I go, the minute it goes to the discount, I would buy the InArt Joker. Fortunately, a new code algorithm was thrown in, which was the Artisan Joker, which I pre-ordered. I do have the Artisan Joker inbound from Hot Toys. So, based on historical actions from both parties, from InArt and Hot Toys, my best course of action would be to wait. It would be to wait and just watch from the sidelines. It just would. But if you do decide that you do want to pre-order this, you're more than welcome to use my affiliated link through Spec Fiction, based out of California, here in the USA. I'll confess, they run slow. They're usually a few months behind everybody else, but you may need that time. You may need that time. What else? What other drama could we talk about? Huh? X06? Yeah, they're old news. Everything that they produce is not very exciting. But how about a surprise for you wonderful folks? How about a review? A special review. How about a review on the 1966 Batman Batmobile in glorious 4K with all the secrets exposed? Every nook and cranny observed. How about that? Since no one else in the community wanted to do a proper 4K review, how about I take a shot at this? Huh? Everybody says the vehicle is the cat's meow. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. It's glorious. Is it really? Because after you see this video, it's really going to question how everybody else who owns it portrayed it. May even question their opinions on it. Oh, I know he's in the crowd, and special thanks goes to the Hatalorian for being for blessing me the opportunity to review the 1/6 scale 1966 Jazz Inc. Batmobile. Yeah, it'll be fun. No, No, there was a lot of everybody that was going to get to it. If you're a subscriber to the channel, you're probably getting the channel alerts. The video is live. So video just went live, pushed a button. It's uploaded, it's complete. And I'm going to end the live stream now. That way you wonderful folks out there can go watch it. I need the Grail challenge.
He who finds the Grail must face the final challenge.
What final challenge?
3 devices of such lethal cunning.
Booby traps?
Oh, yes. But I found the clues that will safely take us through in the Chronicles of St. Anselm.
Well, what are they?